I want to show you something, and I want to show you the impact of what we go through, how it can affect us as we grow. Mwambie. I make a chain. We are making the chain. Let me have 2 more people. Actually, we can have everyone. Come, and I tell him something. Speak loudly. So ni kama afikiriani. Okay? Shika chain. Shika mkono. Shika mkono. Make a chain. Next person. Umemwambia aje? Something mean. Kuna watu hapa hawajaitia things of na sisi ni warefu wote. Okay? And the next person. Isabu ashikange. Let me have one final person. And then let's close in this. Then I explain something. Okay? Tell him something. Sawa, come this way. Come this way. Don't remove your hands from each other. Come this way. Just come. I want you to hold mine. So, our lives revolve in a cycle. And the cycle can either be dysfunctional. Dysfunctional ni ile cycle ambayo si nzuri with negative outcomes, or it can be a positive kind of cycle. So that now today we want to say this chain, if it was a negative chain, we want to break it. Now that is where the problem is. How do I break off from the dysfunctional? Break off, everyone. Break off from the dysfunctional cycle. Wacha tuseme kidogo as we continue. Please walk with me. Wellspring within. That is what I want to talk about as we launch the book. Most of the time mutagundua ya kwamba tunaficha vitu mingi sana inside us. Nimetoka kusalimia a few of you. Na mnasema mko poa. But hiyo poa haikuwa inatoka in a way that it is convincing. Every day when you wake up in the morning na usalimia rafiki yako, the automatic answer is what? Sasa? The automatic answer is poa. What if we were really serious with those greetings? Sasa, leo niliamka, but I'm not feeling okay. Who has the patience to listen? Mike imenikataa, but sauti yangu ni kubwa, thank God. Who has the patience to listen? I normally napenda kutumia example ya ukienda kanisani. Unaona mnaingia kanisani hivi, then the ushers wanawasalimia. Good morning, uko salama? Do you actually really mean that good morning? If I tried to just open up na nikuambie sikulala vizuri, nilichapwa na my husband na nilifukuzwa kwa nyumba, will you stomach what I'm telling you? So sometimes tunaficha. We hide in a cover that makes us look perfect, yet we are broken. Hebu inueni simu zenyu. Inua simu yako. Does your phone has a crack anywhere? Mi yangu iko nayo, a very long one here. Ya nani iko na mingi? Ya nani iko na cracks mingi? Na mnajua kuchunga simu. Let me ask you, with all the cracks you have on your phone, is that phone still working? Yes. See, it is working. So, you can actually be broken, but you're still walking, waking up every day, smiling at everyone, and telling them how good you are. But inside, tuna vitu mingi ambavyo unapigana nazo as a person. And therefore, we want to reflect today and find out how can we get out of this. And I want to say this. Some wounds, vidonda vingine, vinavuja damu. They bleed. Others are invisible, we can't see. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The pain you feel, ambayo inatokana from the heart you got from somewhere, is a pain that even the doctor cannot write. Wewe unaumwa na, tutakupea Panadol for. Because we can't see the pain, it's the pain that actually touches on your own well-being. Mumeyo na mtu anakuambia, ninasikia naumwa na tumbo. Akienda kufanyiwa test, hakuna kitu inaonekana. Sometimes pain affects the whole of your system. It is invisible and you can't see it. And I'm also saying this, childhood trauma is not always dramatic, it is quiet. Unaona mama anachapwa na baba, unaangalia tu, unaenda kwa room, unaingia kwa blanketi. Unaona baba anatusiwa vile hana pesa na he can't provide for the family, a man being shouted at, you just go and say, wow, that house, no. You meet a lot of hostility ambapo unaishi, mahali ambapo unaishi. And as I'm speaking, please, our director for this library, you can come and say hello as I'm speaking. You can just come. I've seen you walk in. So it is quiet. It develops slowly. No one sees it. When you meet someone, you smile. I saw how Teddy was putting it. Unakutana na watu, but you want to put up a show. Mimi niko tu sawa. You know, it can go to an extent whereby even the abnormal becomes your normal. Naweza kuja tu na nikwambie, wow, you have beautiful shoes. What is, because of the trauma, what will you tell me? Unajua hata nilikuwa nimeishona juzi, ilikuwa imeraruka hapa. You have just said you have beautiful shoes. What is all that story you are telling me? You were never validated. You were never told positive things about yourself. Haukuwahi pata compliment about you as a person. It was all about you have to be perfect. And I'll tell you how perfect my friend Ted is. I keep telling him, don't worry, you can't be perfect. Ted is a perfectionist, by the way, and he knows, and I keep telling him. So, even as we ponder on that, Madam, salimia wageni wako kwanza.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Caroline Lenosingiran. Thank you, Madam, for elevating me. I'm not the director. I'm the officer in charge of Kenya National Library Service, Buruburu. We have our Director General, and we have other directors. So I want to apologize for getting in late. We had a 2-day training going on here, and I'm the host, the organizer, and as well, and I was also facilitating. The training just ended at around 1:30 when Ted came in, and so because we had planned to carry out both activities here, so we just had to finish this one at around 1:30, and then now this one. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all to Kenya National Library Service Buruburu. We are delighted to have you here. Mr. Ted has made us to meet here because of his amazing project, his amazing work. So I just want to take a few minutes to tell you about Kenya National Library Service. How many of you know KNLS and have been using KNLS, our libraries across? Anyone? Wow, yeah, a few of us. Allow me to talk a little bit about KNLS because after this, I have something else to do. I just concluded the training and I have to finalize on a few things here and there. So Kenya National Library Service is a state corporation established by an Act of Parliament, Cap 225 of Laws of Kenya. So we are a state corporation and we have 3 facilities. Kenya National Library Service has 3 libraries performing the functions of the national government. Our headquarters is at Maktaba Kuu, Upper Hill, Nairobi, just adjacent to SHA, along Ngong Road. And we have this facility here at Buruburu and another one in Nakuru. We also have a virtual library, which is a library without boundaries, a library that you can access anywhere at any given time. And we have, our mission is to preserve the national documentary heritage and enable access to information for knowledge. So we have a number of functions that we perform. I'll just mention a few. One of them is we promote reading for knowledge, information, and enjoyment. We implement so many activities that promote literacy. We also promote authorship and publishing. We also, through issuance of international standard book numbers, TED purchased an ISBN from us, and I think that's how we got to know each other with Mr. TED. Kenya National Library Service is an agency, the only agency mandated by the International ISBN Agency in UK to issue ISBN. ISBN stands for International Standard Book Number. This is a number that uniquely identifies a publication. So if you are planning to publish, or you are an author and you are not aware about it, or you have a friend or a relative that is publishing or who wants to write, kindly let them know that there is this number called ISBN that is issued by the Kenya National Library Service. And one number is 1,500, and we issue these ISBNs online. We have a system that we use to issue these numbers to authors and publishers. And once you publish Books and Newspapers Act, Cap 111, for those who don't know, requires each and every publisher to deposit 2 copies to the Kenya National Library Service within 14 days after publishing. And the reason is because we are mandated to preserve the national documentary heritage. When we receive those 2 copies, we preserve 1 copy for posterity and 1 is for use. And then we also publish a document called Kenya National Bibliography. This is a comprehensive list of all books published in Kenya in a given year. So it's possible for us or for anyone to know the publishing trend of our nation. We also do capacity build to county governments and any other institutions in matters library. So we support authorship, we support publishing, that's what I said. And so when Mr. Ted reached out to me and he got the ISBN, he talked about him wanting to publish, to launch his book. I shared with him that we can give him support. We can partner with him by offering him a space to do his launch. And he accepted my offer. He came over, we had a talk, we discussed, and here he is launching his book. And I want to congratulate him for his good work. I've even already made a deal with him that I will organize to have some youth here for a mentorship program, and I welcome him to come and partner with us and give a talk to those girls, because his book is really touching and it will go a long way benefiting and impacting more other lives. So feel welcome, karibuni sana. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Carol. We appreciate your hosting, your kind hosting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry, maybe before I go, I want to recognize my 2 colleagues who are here. They can just talk, mention their names. Come. I just want to recognize them because we work as a team here. They can just say their names.
Good afternoon. All is good? And all the time? Okay, my name is Victor Peter. I'm a librarian in this facility. We work together as colleagues. Yes, in fact, I was seconded to you just to, in case you have got any problem, I can take care of it. Okay, thank you.
Habari zenyu? Kwa majina naitwa Michael Gitao. Mimi nafanya kazi pamoja na mkubwa wangu Carol na Peter. Tuko na furaha sana kuwa host. It's my first book launch, attending my first book launch today here. And I'm very eager to hear what she's saying and what the book is also talking about. Thank you.
So thank you very much. I think you can proceed on from where we were. Now, let me take you back. Let me take you back to what I was talking about. And I was talking about this child who has not been heard, who has not been seen. A child who has not been considered to be special. Most of us, and I'll also talk a little bit about people who are getting ready to marry and to be married. Because that is where the genesis of all these problems start. And you realize that sometimes I as Rosie, can decide to marry, to run away from the violence I see every day at home. But this is what I want to say. You are not running away. You are avoiding something that will catch up with you. Marriage is not a solution, for example, of what you've gone through as you are growing. And that is how most of us land into commitments that do not bring satisfaction at the end. Because you know what you will go and do there? You will project it to the next person. So the gap that you had, that has not been filled, you have not been in a place where you can solve those issues, will be projected to that child where you are going, will be projected to that husband who has married you. And so it is a cycle, just like we have seen here. It is a cycle that never ends. I saw my mother being talked to in an abusive way. So that is how women are spoken to. When I grow up, that is how I'll speak to my wife. So I want you to understand how bad the cycle is and how damaging vile ambavyo inatudhuru sisi as we continue living. This is a child who had to be strong early. This is a child aliambiwa, wewe sasa unajua umekuwa, anza kukua. Yani you take the role of chunga hao watoto wengine wadogo, mimi nimeenda kufanya 1 2 3. But sometimes you realize hata sisi kama wazazi we are part and parcel of the problem. Psalms 34:18 inasema, the Lord is close to the broken-hearted. Now, sometimes we look at brokenness kwa umbali na tunasema ule ameisha. Ule mwenye anakunywa pombe kila siku, ni drugs, ni sigara, huyo mwenye huyo prostitute, huyo maisha yake imeisha. Those are signs of brokenness. This is a broken person. And you being on this other side, ukimwangalia, it's easy for you to judge such a person. Let me ask you, if you look at someone like Ted, for example, would you know this is someone who probably slept hungry at some point? You wouldn't. Look at how he's perfect. Look at the suit he's wearing. Kuja tuone suit yako. Look at how he's looking. You wouldn't know this is someone who went through a lot of trauma that made him almost give up. You will read his story. It is very touching. And so at the end of the day, you just get to a point where we judge people so harshly. Tunawaangalia na huko, unajua vile unakaanga huko, and then unaangalia huko, unasema ule hata hana morals, hana anything. But before we can judge people, can we try to find out huyu ametoka wapi? Huyu amepitia nini? Kabla uanze kuniambia I am promiscuous and I love doing things in a way that is not pleasing. I escaped school. Me, I used to run away from school. Don't ask me why. Nilikuwa naruka fence naenda. Naletwa asubuhi na mzazi, ikifika mchana hivi naruka fence naenda. It was a boarding school. My story is for another day. Today it is dead story. You are seeing mtoto amekaa darasani, haongei, no participation, akiwa nje ako kwa kona. But such children utapata hata wanakuwa punished wrongly. So society has not known how to place us when it comes to our growing. But the Bible says God is close to the broken-hearted. Now let me give you a scenario. Angalia pot. Mnajua pot hii ya pot. I think tumegrown a pot tukiwa wadogo. We used to fetch water, put in there. When a pot cracks, of course it's like life yake ya hiyo pot imeisha hivyo. But let me tell you something, friends. Cracks are opportunities for remedy, for revival. When there is a crack on something, on this window here, let's say this window was, the way it is, ama ilikuwa dark. When there is a crack, si utaweza ona ka light kadogo, through, you can see something. Okay, fine, all right, I can see something through that. Brokenness is not a sentence for a life that is ruined. Maisha yako haijaisha, haijaharibika. It's just a way God is telling you, don't worry, hapa ndio tutaanzia. Let me ask you, na jaribu kuangalia viatu umevaa. Ukienda ununue viatu Bata, inakuanga mpya, it looks nice. But what is almost the next thing that you are going to do to make sure that shoe lasts for long? There's something that we always do. Ende upige uzi wapi? Round. Unapiga uzi kitu mpya. Mbona unapiga uzi? Aya, wengine hatutaenda Bata. Tutaenda huko kwa mtumba, huko mahali you can bend and pick anything and buy anything. Mbona unaenda huko? Because people believe mtumba clothes, they look funny. Lakini ukiweka pasi iko sawa. They look funny, but they are stronger than the clothes in the shop. So brokenness is not a license to a life that is defeated. God does not distance himself from you. Now, trauma inakufanya udevelop differently. It actually is responsible for your temperament. Leo unashtuka, and I'm a very angry person. What happened to me? Anything, you are impulsive. Anything, you don't want even to listen. You're mad, you're screaming, and you're wondering, itabia nilitoa wapi jamani? Look back. And that is why today, ukienda kwa psychologist, eti niko na stress, mama yangu, my wife, the first thing they'll ask you, how did you grow? And I would like to demonstrate a little bit about how vile childhood interfere na you actually contribute to our temperaments. Nani hapa anajua temperament yake ni gani? Mimi najua yangu. Nani hapa anajua yake? Do you know yours? Which one? Hata nisha suspect tu wewe ni. So you are a choleric. Oh, sorry. When you don't get attention, you get impulsive. Umeishangaa nilitoa wapi hii tabia ya kukasirika na kurukia maneno na you don't even want to listen to anyone. You walk out. Have you ever asked yourself where you got that? Yes. Did you get an answer?
No.
Can you give us the answer?
Stems back
from childhood. Yes.
Stems back from childhood trauma. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I didn't get the deserving love and the care.
Yes.
And for instance, like the way that hug means a lot. So I know that's where it stems from. As compared to the siblings that I had.
Wow. Did you hear how she emphasized on the hug? Parents, ninawaona. I've even seen good friends of mine at the corner there. How often do you hug your child? I hug my daughter very many times because I was not hugged. Ladies and gentlemen, teach your child to be all-knowing about themselves, to understand who they are, what they want to become, the values that shape them. Nilimwambia niowe tu. Imagine saizi 6 years down the line, I sat down and I thought about that question. And I said, goodness gracious, what am I doing to myself? I don't even know what I want. Then I went and took a paper and started writing, I want to, my objective, 6 years. Joseph in the Bible. Now I know. In fact, I know too much. But you see, nobody sat me down in a marriage. I don't remember anyone sitting me down and saying, now you are a woman. You need. So ilikuwa patapotea business. Even the watu wanaenda. Okay. You see, you realize things, others you are taught, others you are lied to. Some are not even true. Joseph in the Bible. If there's anyone in the Bible who would have been qualified to be bitter, to be mad, at the Joseph. The brothers hated him. This is a serious one. The mask we wear, your friend, who looks put together in this room. Yani mtu ambaye anakaa amejiamini yeye yani hakuna shida nani anakaa hana shida hapa? Hebu angalia tu around. Now let me tell you, masks are very serious. People wear masks. Angalia vile mimi ninakaa, lakini hujui kama nilipigwa asubuhi. Hujui kama you don't know. The people who look put together, most of it, not all, most of them are struggling with one or two. And that is why lazima wavalie mask ndio idanganye yule ambaye anawaangalia na kuwaongelesha na kuinteract na wao. My pain should not be seen by other people. They are the ones wanakuwa na battles behind closed doors. Many people struggle with depression. Ukiniangalia hivi utajua niko na depression. Hebu angalieni Ted na hiyo suti yake, anakaa kuna depression. Anaweza kuwa kweli, anaweza kuwa mtu ako na depression. No. Anxiety. Trauma. The masking inakuanga rooted in fear, judgment, fear of rejection. Mimi sitaki watu wanione eti, I don't want people to see me as a failure. I don't want people to see me that I cannot mingle with the high-end people in society. Unaenda umepelekwa shule, sijui kama tuko na any high schooler in the house. Unapata watu wametoka from walks of life. Unasema lazima ni fit hapa. Wewe umewachiwa pocket money ya 500. Yeye ako na pocket money ya 50,000. But I have to fit. So because you want to fit, what will you do? You know what you will do? There are many things you will do. So why suffer in silence? Because there's a lot of fear of judgment. Angalia culture, family expectations. You must get good grades. You must get good grades. Nani hapa ameambiwa hivyo? Hii nyumba yetu hakuna mtu anapata A kwenda chini. Unapata tu A kwenda juu, as if there is any other grade above A. There is a dad who once told the son, my son, if you fail, unachapwa, unakuwa punished. Mimi, I never got anything below A's. Wait until one day the son, I don't know what he was doing in the bedroom. He bumped onto some papers. Akatoa hivi. Papers za universities are the dad. Transcripts. D, C, B. Alafu akajiuliza, this is the person who was telling me I cannot get anything below A's. Even that dad had traumas he was dealing with. Lack of safe spaces. No one really listens. Ladies and gentlemen, no one listens. And because no one listens, including wale ambao wako karibu na sisi kabisa. Wale ambao unasema, this is my parent, this is my friend, this is my, hakuna mtu anakuanga na hiyo patience kukaa chini na kusikiza. And because no one listens to you, you will find a place where you can fit. You internalize shame. Maybe I am the problem. Mara ngapi umeijiambia, yake maybe ni mimi nilikosa. How? Maybe ni mimi nilikosa. And yet, there was really nothing you did that was wrong. You are going to ask mom something, and mom brushes you. Atoka, I don't have time. Accessibility and awareness barriers. Even if I wanted help, where do I go? Watu wengi sana hawajui watakimbia wapi. And today I want to tell you helpline. In Kenya. Unajua unaweza okoa hata mtoto wa neighbor. Wachana na wewe. You can even save a neighbor's child who is being maltreated and abused. If we have time, we can share those helpline to the future. So bitterness, we can grow with bitterness. And you see, when you're bitter, sometimes, most of the time utajipata umejifunga mahali. You don't want to talk, you don't want to interact with people. So the cost of silence is very expensive. For you to hide yourself, your face, your shame, your everything, it's very expensive. And maybe Ted will tell us a little bit as we finish this part. Guilt of prioritizing self. You are even wondering, do I really matter? Relationships, you can't even keep a relationship. You're always tired, burnout. You can't bring yourself to a space where you're saying, I am a whole person. And that is why unapata, we end up having people with psychological issues, depression, anxiety. As I end, I want to just speak about the journey of healing. How does it look like? How does healing look like? That is a very hard thing to even try to find what it means. But the journey of healing begins with you. Ted has spoken about it, I think, in one of the final chapters. Wacha niwaambie, that is the most hardest thing you can ever tell someone. It is the journey of healing begins again with me, who is traumatized, who is beaten, who is at rock bottom. Ni mimi tena nianze. But there's a very thin line in making that decision. When you say enough is enough. I am not defined by circumstances. I'm not defined by my abusive parents. I'm not defined by my abusive husband. I'm not defined by issues and circumstances that limit my potential. Accept that you have been wounded. Accept. Nimeumia, nimeteseka, nimepitia a lot of damaging situations. Accept. Bring yourself to say, it is okay, Rosie. It is fine. It is okay. Once you bring yourself to that space, see if there is a place you can run to. Not run physically, it's running, no. Where can you go to get help? Na sasa unajua hapa, I'm not even talking about a young person. I'm talking about mtu mwenye anajielewa. Wacha hata mtoto, ya mtoto is a bit difficult. Because where will a child run to if at all no one will save this child? So bring yourself to a space where you're saying it is okay. Then tell yourself, I need to start forgiving. Hey, mimi niko na kama watu wangapi sijasamehea mimi? Nyinyi mjasamehea wangapi? Hey, if we start counting, will we finish? And elder will tell you. Hata Ephesians inasema. How do you take care of bitterness and anger and clamor and slander? You forgive. Forgiveness hata ni ya mwisho. Kuna compassion. Kuna gani ingine elder? It's being compassion, kind and forgiving. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I think wengi wetu, we will be destroyed because of not forgiving. I want all of us to go home. When you go home, reflect. Ebu angalia ni nani kwa list yako ya wale unajua hujasamehea for something they did to you. So then, open yourself to get help. But even so, set boundaries. Anza kujifanyia vitu zako in a way that defines you. I used to tell Ted once in a while, when you wake up in the morning and you look at that mirror, what do you tell yourself? Do you tell yourself, oh, I'm so stupid? Ile klasi ya ule mwalimu atanaenda na anafunzanga nini? Or do you wake up and tell yourself, wow, in fact, Ted here is a CEO of a company, Afrihat. Good morning, Ted. See how smart you look. See how handsome you are. CEO mwenyewe. Can you tell yourself some positive things? And I'll tell you why. This brain you carry, this brain here is a powerhouse. What you feed it, ndio ile itatoa. And you will keep believing. How many lies have you been told ever since you started growing? Ted, I can't count you as. You need to undo the lies because they are lies. It's the devil who is the father of lies. You don't have any portion in that. So why would you stoop low and say, mimi hata siwezi, sitafanya. I will not make it in life. Because someone somewhere told you, we ni mjinga, hakuna subject unaelewa. Pray. If you pray if you are a prayerful person. Replace those lies. Replace the lies. There's a chapter Ted has talked about replacing the lies. Replace the lies. If you are told you are not enough, tell yourself you are fearfully and wonderfully made. If you are abandoned, for example, parent left you in a hospital somewhere, or you know, somehow they just did away with you. You tell yourself, I will never leave you nor forsake you. That is God telling you, I will never leave nor forsake you. My grace is sufficient for you, and my power is perfect in weakness. Your broken places are not proof of failure. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't mean that if you went through a life that was rough as a child, that is what defines you. No. That is a myth. Set boundaries. Don't allow people too much. Availability is not accessibility. Sometimes I could be seated here reading. You see the way Lamech is reading. But because I'm seeing Lamech, it doesn't mean I can just come and say, Lamech, unajua niliwa. Access is not available. I can be available but not accessible at that point. You can come and say, hey, Rosie, naona ufanyi kitu. Can we go and have to some disco hall somewhere? But I tell you I'm not available. But you are looking at me. But I'm not available. Set boundaries. Tell yourself this is the limit. Me, by the way, if you ask me right now, I have boundaries with my children, my husband, my in-laws, everyone. There is a limit. My children, they know they hawezi pita. Na wanajua hata mom kuna limit siwezi pita yao. My husband knows hawezi fika mahali. Na mimi najua siwezi fika yake mahali. Start respecting yourself and acknowledging you are enough. You are enough. You are enough. You are your only competition. Stop comparing yourself to other people. So when you start that journey of healing, see yourself, this is my path. And my path cannot be the path of Lamech. So it doesn't matter. I can take 10 years to heal. You can take a half a year. Draw your path. Allow yourself to feel. Kuna watu they were not allowed to feel anything when they were growing. Yani, you can't even explain what you're thinking. You can't give your opinion. Huwezi explain what you're feeling. You can't even cry. Kuna watoto hapa waliwahi jaribu kulia na wakaambia, you people, have you seen how children grow? Anaanza nisikie sauti. Wacha mtoto alie jamani. You can't express your emotions. You are wondering now, what do I do with myself? There's a lot of confusion. Na andafu unaona mtoto anaanza withdraw. This is not someone I need to be near. They take steps back. And by the time you realize they have taken steps, they have gone. And then you come and tell us, oh, daktari, oh, psychiatrist, oh, mtoto wangu aki, siku hizi hata ananiongelesha vibaya. Hata alini block. You are responsible for your healing. Take rest. Learn how to be joyful. Ende kwa nyumba, si lazima ukue sasa kila siku uende enda siku moja. Unaona vile, me I love cooking. Let me give my example. I can cook very well for every other person. But there's some point in my life I could not remember cooking like that. Kwani kichwa ya Ted hata mkiona inakaa kubwa. Mimi sijui, maybe ilikuwa kubwa akigrow, I don't know. And by the way, sometimes you don't take things too personally. Zingine wacha. Unajua, when I come and tell you you are stupid, there's something about me. It's about me, not you. So sometimes let some things go. Unajua, just let them go. Haya. Create positive habits, relearn joy, rest, show up. I love the chapter. Is it the chapter ya huku, the second last chapter where he's talking about children may not want you to come and tell them big things. Bora tu amekuwa na you see the way children run to their parents when the daddy walks in the door. Daddy! And they, me I remember my dad alitubeba tukiwa boarding, we were in boarding primary. Anakuja visiting day and he carries all of us like this. You can imagine the joy we used to feel. What is this girl looking for at 13? That you can't give, that you can't guide, that you can't validate, what is she looking for? Brokenness. I can't get it at home. Wacha nikanyage nje, niangalie kama nitapata. And do you know what? Most of the time, wanapata. Mimi hata nilijiambia, if my I have a 15-year-old. If my 15-year-old today comes and tells me, "Mom, this is the path I've chosen in terms of, taking care of my body. I want to keep long hair." Wacha nirudi nyuma. Most parents, let me answer you. Most parents, if such scenarios come, because of that traditional nature that you were brought up with, unajua amesema tu this is my friend. Hata hajasema eti there is any other. Amesema tu this is my friend. Sasa parents will just go overboard and say, "No, unajua utapata mimba, utapata HIV, the way that line of thought. Yeah? You think that child will ever introduce you to any other person next time? See, that's how you've lost that child. Mimi wakiingia karibuni sana, kaeni, mnataka chai, soda, juice, mnataka nini? Then I seize the opportunity and advise them accordingly. Did you see? There was a feature in Mombasa 1 year ago. These children went to the clinic. Wasichana tu wa high school. Wakafika. Wakaulizwa mnataka nini? Eti tunataka family planning. Hizi madawa za hizi tembe ni sindano. Then the nurses there stood and said, "Ebu tokeni, security. Get these girls out of here." Did they help the situation? So utaanza kusikia abortion rates are going high in this region. So why didn't you just allow them and then you take the opportunity to guide them? People are dealing with brokenness. People are finding love in places they don't know, that we can't trust, that we can't. They are not safe. Why do people go out with... Unajua, Ted hajaongea na yeye ndio mwenye siku. You are not your trauma. You are not your past. You are not the words that were spoken to you. I need us to start from there. You are responsible for your healing, even if you are not responsible for your heart. You are responsible for your healing. Let this be a turning point. And by the way, message yenye ninaongea leo may not even be for you. But unaweza toka kwa hii mlango na ukutane na mtu ambaye anataka kusikia something about brokenness. You can help that person. Stop normalizing pain. Kuna watu tumezoea pain mpaka imekuwa part and parcel of us. Stop minimizing your experiences. Make sure you go out and explore what the world has in a very responsible way. Usijifunge mahali useme mimi niliambiwa nisitoke hapa. Mimi niliambiwa hata nisiangalie nje ya gate. Mimi niliambiwa nikifanya nitapatiwa punishment. No. Seek help. Have had conversations. We have avoidant personalities. Shida ikitokea hivi, they just disappear in thin air. They cannot face their problem. Ninasemanga chukua shida. Huyu ni shida. Shida kaa hapa. Huyu ni Rosie. Sasa weka hapa. Angalia shida na angalia Rosie. That way you will help yourself. But when you look at the problem to be you, inakuwa very hard to differentiate. Release what you cannot control. Most of us tunajaribu kuishi maisha ambayo hatuwezi. We believe in things that are not anywhere in our radar. You know what? Let me tell you a simple principle. Anything that is not within your control, wachana nayo. It's a source of stress for no reason. So now, because your dad is very harsh and very cruel to you, utamchapa. I saw a certain young man hold the father like this the other day. And the reason, so the girl is recording. Wako hivi. Ameshika baba yake hivi. The father is wondering what is wrong with this young man. Yeah, you will never beat our mother again. You will never. What is happening to these children? What children see affects them. Rebuild your inner narrative and make sure you define it in your own way. And remember, broken things are not useless. You are important. Your scars can be a strength. And your pain can be purposeful. So what is your pain preparing you for? Your story can become someone else's survival guide. So don't worry, rise. Just rise and tell yourself, no more. And when you get that first step, then you will be able to get help. But even so, with children, we realize that it's very difficult for them to remove themselves from situations kama hizo. And that is why we are saying we can actually, unajua watoto ni wa community, we can see how we can actually have a second and a third eye so that we can help these children out of it. But other than that, I want us now to go into the launch of this book, and I want to say that this book has chapters that are very, 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 very sensitive, and if it speaks to you, it means you also have undergone something close to what our author Ted has written here. And even just from the first chapter, you'll see that there's a lot of issues to do with invisibility, damage, and, a lot to do with, inadequacy, you're feeling like you don't matter and all that. And even when you just look at the cover of this book, it tells a lot. You shrink, and you don't see yourself. You don't see yourself. So I would like Ted to come. Ted, please come. I don't know who else I can call. Let me see. Elder Serem, please come. And I want to read what is written behind this book. Broken Inside, I'll read the last part. Broken Inside becomes a mirror for the wounded soul and a guide for the healing heart. If you've ever struggled to forgive, to feel worthy, or to understand your past, this book is for you. You'll walk away with courage to face your hidden pain, wisdom to break cycles of emotional neglect, a renewed sense of worth, identity, and faith, healing through real stories, biblical truth, and psychological insight. Not many people will come out like Ted has done. Wacha niwaambie, mimi eti nianze kuambia vile sijui nilifanyiwa nini na nini no. But I want to congratulate Ted for taking a bold step to write such a book that will impact so many lives. In fact, there are so many people waiting for this book. Wanangoja tu tumalizane na hii story tunafanya hapa, they check the books away. And you see, he has spoken stories for 1,000 and 1,000,000 people out there. So I want us to be ambassadors. I want us to be ambassadors of this noble direction Ted has decided to take. And even so, we want us to take our place to a safe space where we can get help. Na wacha niwaambie, saizi tunakaa tuko sawa hapa. But if we were to open the Pandora's box, we will be crying on the floor. So Ted, I want to say congratulations. DJ, you can prepare a song, a nice one, as Elder Serem says something, and maybe praise for this book that we are dedicating today.
Thank you. Good evening. Yeah, we want to thank God for Ted for deciding to speak up. And as Daktari amesema, it's good to speak up, but who can speak up? And Teddy has done that through the book. So I've also learned something when she said we close our eyes, and you could just see somewhere along that trail that speaks to each one of us at a personal level. So God bless you, Ted, for coming and speaking out. It's a bold move. I want to pray that as ambassadors, as we go out to assist others, because I believe we have spoken with Ted, and this is a story that will help many. There are so many people who are broken inside, and I believe through this book, I want to dedicate myself to read this book. And I believe I'll be an ambassador of this book. So I want to pray that you also be an ambassador. Speak to somebody. There's somebody there who wants to read, who wants to get an answer, who wants to get somewhere where they can get healing. And I want to agree with Daktari that it is true. It starts with you, but it's very heavy when it's said that it still has to start with you. So may God guide us. I want to pray and dedicate this book, that whoever reads that book, it will have it will make a difference in their own lives. And as much as they are broken inside, the healing they will receive in Jesus' name. I don't know how we'll do it. I'll just hold the book. I'll request that, yes, A Journey of Childhood, yes. So we are going to dedicate this book. I've seen so many of them outside there, and I believe each one of us will take a book. Yes? Yes. As we are here, will all of us take a book? I think I'll take 2, and then sure I reach out to one more person to ensure that this book actually makes an impact in other people who actually need it. So I'll just hold it. I'll request that we hold it together, and then I'll do a special prayer. Oh, you want some? Oh, yes, yes, please. You can bring the other books, actually. Yes, yes. So I've been thinking about what is inside here, and I think today I'll have a time to read and see what is inside there. I love reading, so I believe this will be one of those books that I'll dedicate myself to read. I'm just speaking as the books are coming. Ted has spoken to me several times. He has given me testimonies, and I want to thank God for that testimony. There's one specific testimony we even shared with my wife, and it's a powerful testimony. There are so many people who have not spoken, but when you speak, you touch them, and they can make a bold step of speaking about things that are burdening their hearts. So this is one of the ways that we can speak about them. Thank you. How many copies do we have today? 95. How many are we here? Okay. Thank you. So I want to pray that we dedicate these books, and as we are going out there as ambassadors, and as we share this great book that has moved many, those who have read it prior, I want to pray that it will make a difference for those who are planning to read it starting today. So I'll make a dedicational prayer for this book. It's called Broken Inside, A Journey from Childhood Pain to Purpose. So I'll request that we can rise up. Thank you. Just bring them. So I'll do a special prayer as we dedicate this book for everyone. Let's believe and pray. Dear Heavenly Father, who lives in heaven, we are here to uplift your name, to acknowledge your presence in each and every one of us. We are here to give you thanks because of your goodness and your grace that has been sufficient to each one of us. We have come here today with a purpose to come and listen to the voice that has been spoken through a book. We want to pray in a very special way that this book that has been authored by your child, our brother Teddy, in a very special way as we launch it today, difference in their own lives. We want to pray for those who might not be able to directly receive this book, that as we go out as ambassadors, that many will receive this message and this book and buy it to read and to make a difference in their own lives. Thank you for putting this desire in the heart of Teddy, and that he has decided to speak up. And we want to pray that this message that is in this book will change many lives, not only in Kenya, but everywhere in the world. We want to pray that this book will go to very, very diverse areas of this world, that many will read this book and acknowledge that it is possible to get healing and to have purpose in our own lives. Thank you, and we want to dedicate it in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you. So I believe every one of us will take a copy and ensure that we spread out this. You can sit down. Thank you. You can have a seat.
Yes, it's another beautiful moment. Next, we are going to invite the author, Mr. Teddy Muridhi. I can imagine how you have been dying to see this day. And before that, I'm going to read something. it's a question you ask yourself quietly. If you could speak to your younger self, what could it be about? Let's welcome the author, Tedrick Muridhi.
Thank you so much, Bana MC, Mr. Lamek. I would really love kwanza MC angeturuhusu tukue na vitabu so that you can go through, because the next session is book reading. People will choose the chapters. You can just read 1 or 2, 3, 4 people briefly, and then now we'll be welcoming our panelists. We are going to conclude by 6:15, yeah, so that you can do book signing. But now you can pick the books, record as you do the payment. I really appreciate your support. Let me take this chance to appreciate each and every person, starting with my chief guest and my chief speaker of the day, Dr. Roslyn. She said that I'm brother to her, but she's my mother. I have written a chapter about her, how we met. She mentioned about it. I've written a chapter. It's called From College to Calling, how we met with, and from the day we met, we've been friends. We've been more than friends. I've visited her at her home, and hata nimekuwa part of that family. I've walked this journey with her. Allow me share, because I normally say give people flowers while they are just alive, while they can smell them. So I don't wait for the day you will not be there so that I can praise you. So the day I met her, I will allow you give them as you record so that they can be going through to prepare for the next program. So as I was saying, the day I met Dr. Roslyn, she said a lot of things, how she's been encouraging me. Hata ile siku nilimpigia simu nikamwambia I'm so happy today because so you will allow me cry, because I believe I'm going to be emotional, because the story I've written here, sometimes I used to pause and just cry because it is so bitter. It's so weird to see a man crying, but I believe also men are human beings and should cry. So I advocate for men to take some time and cry in a room. As I was saying, when I met her, I was too broken. And I don't know, she came in my life as an angel, and we've been walking this journey together. Even the day I called her nikamwambia I've managed to register my company, AfriHeart Creation. Aliniambia, Teddy, don't wait for someone to go and take you out. I'm sorry. Akaniambia, don't wait for someone to take you out. Take yourself out and celebrate yourself. And when Lamek has talked about the things you can remember about your childhood journey, I've thought about it and how I felt so bitter about myself, how I used to see myself as a loser. And today, since I started loving myself, I'm growing big and big. I wish. I'm sorry. Maybe you can continue later.
Congratulations.
It is well. It is well. Weka tu hiyo wimbo imbe. As you're signing the book. It is well with our soul. And today, yes, we've been broken, but we will no longer be broken. Because someone has boldly shown us that that is not the way to go. Nothing should define our existence except God. And Ted, You're a special human being to God, and you're a special human being to all of us. And I can see your family members here, by the way. Thank you for coming. I think they understand him better because they know where they are coming from. Whenever you feel ready to come back, just come back. Let's keep taking the books and signing the books. And you're not haujafungwa. If you want to cry, please, because this is a time of reflection as well.
Thank you, Dr. Roslyn. Also be reminded that you can pick a copy for your friends, children, your neighbors, your enemies. You're not limited.
Congratulations, see what the Lord has done for you. Congratulations, God is good.
They say writing a book is hard,
I can never be old.
but writing a book about pain, it's bravery. Tedick Muridhi didn't just write a book, he survived it. And that's bravery.
Many years, many ways. I have seen his faithfulness ever and ever. Yeah. Congratulations, I have seen the glory of God. Congratulations, he has done it for me. And I have come back with a new song to sing. My God is good. Yes,
Welcome back, Tedick Muridhi.
I'm sorry for that, but when you see me crying, I don't cry because of the pain, but it's because of how I thought about myself and who I am today. And every time when doctor tells me, go to a mirror, appreciate yourself, and tell yourself I'm growing. And every time when I go around, maybe I meet some people when wananiambia something different from what I had while I was growing up. The first chapter nimeanza na kusema, for those who are there, they can read the topic. The first chapter, the very first chapter. Part 1, the wounded boy. So this is where I've shared my stories and my testimonies. And those are true personal testimonies. I have my sister here today. I have 2 of my brothers. And I also have my cousin and some other childhood friends. They can bear me witness about this. So I've talked about the boy who thought he was ugly. Sometime back, I feared mirror because people told me I had big head. I had big ears. Vice versa of what I hear today. I meet with people. I've shared the affirmation testimonies. How I meet people who tell me I am handsome. I am strong. I have big visions and I'm going far. How I wish not even a single day you become the person who create a home to anyone. As Hilda said and Dr. Be ambassadors of, be a nice person who someone can meet in the morning and their days becomes bright the whole day. Some people appreciate them when you meet with them. Tell someone they are beautiful. Tell them they are so focused and so motivated. And tell them they have big visions. That gives them strength, not because they are new ones, but because of how you say them. And I've shared a lot of stories about my own parent. How I wish that we don't grow to that kind of generation where we get children and get weak children emotionally. I really love the kind of children raised by our generation, Gen Z, whereby you will hear, Mama, come, you're so bright. Mama, you are strong. Mama, you need my hug, come. Papa, you're going to make it. Because I know, especially to men, there is no day. You will hear someone coming to tell you of how good you are. Nobody will give men flowers. Maybe ladies you can get from your boyfriends or even someone close to you. But for me, man, I may never receive flowers until I'm dead. That is when people come to plant them on my grave. Yeah. So you as a mother to a boy, how do you tell them? Do you tell them to prioritize themselves? Do you tell them to take themselves for a lunch and appreciate themselves? Or you're just helping them to grow up and reach a very cruel world? When I look at you, I see mothers. My friend Amelia, you have a boy. Do you encourage them every morning? Kevin, do you encourage your son? I want to sincerely say that I personally, maybe even my parents are not sure of what I do in Nairobi. But Daktari knows. They will never give me a call and tell me congratulations. I do not blame them, but I blame the wound that they have, and I pray that we heal, and also they heal, and become different people. And through that we shall be able to raise emotionally healthy children. All that we've been taught today. So this is me, but the picture doesn't look like me. But when you look at this picture, it tells you more about myself. I didn't write every testimony, but I just selected a few, because if I could write all of them, maybe they could not fit in this book. It could be so huge, and sometimes you could be even bold to read it. So I really pray that we shall be changed. I really appreciate you for taking your 2 minutes, your 1 hour, your whole day. Some have even postponed their job to come and attend this session. May the Lord heal those who are broken-hearted among us and make you strong. I'm so happy even to see parents among us. Kina Lewi, Kina Christine, my sister, and because I know today you'll be changed. You'll not be a parent you shout to your children, who calls them names and keeps on blaming them and forcing them to be number one, which you've never attained. But learn to appreciate their number 10 for them to start growing. Let your child say that if I do this, my mom will not love it. Because they believe whatever you choose for them is always the best. Let it never reach a point where your child will sit down and question themselves, are you sure I belong? This is my biological father or my mother did something. Are you sure these are my parents? I have, most of you here are my personal friends. And I have my friend here who will not mention their name. But they shared a testimony where even their own parents said, wao si wazazi wao. Mzee anasimama anasema, I'm not your father. Until when God blesses you and makes you strong, that is when they call you for blessings. If you realize this is not your child, address it while they are young. Don't address it when someone has grown up believing that you are their father. Yeah. I will not talk about much because I've written it here. And I know you're going to read this book. What I only pray is that the broken-hearted shall be strong and shall recover. But what I believe is that the scars of the wounds will never be erased. But I only urge you to go, take some time, forgive yourself for seeing yourself like a loser, for believing what they told you, and also for always prioritizing them instead of you, and be a changed person. Tell yourself, I forgive myself for not being proud of myself, for always being shrinking in a room full of opportunities. Because since I realized my potential, I've been able to interact with big people, people whom I thought I would never have a sit and talk with them. So I believe each and every person can be changed, but you may ignore this healing, which I always talk about it. Allow me mention my friend Kevin, also my classmate from Form 1 to Form 4. I have my classmate here, Molo, Dorcas, Gendi, and many others. But now, one day my friend Kevin asked me, ilikuwa juzi tu while I started talking about, he's sitting there, I know you know him. Aliniuliza na hii kuhili mse unaongelelea ni ya nini man? But I told him, let me tell even you today, you may ignore healing, but this healing may be the cause of the business that you are losing. You meet a client, you shout at them, you ignore them, you treat them bad, and you lose business opportunities because of how trauma taught you. You shrink so much in a room where you need to be bold and stand strong, and people takes you for granted. Well, they expected you to be firm and strong, and they can make you that CEO, but they saw you're not emotionally strong. You're so much distracted. So go ask yourself, what happened when I was a child? And how did it affect me? Because I went and sat down. When we were talking with Daktari and I was going through some problems, some challenges about someone, and I found a safe place. I opened to her, and she told me that person needed to see a doctor. And I always tell her, I was so much confused. What are you talking about? I only know that someone needs a doctor when they have some headache, some stomach ache. So someone can be so normal and strong the way I look, but go and see a doctor because their mentor has some issue. Ask yourself, do you need a doctor? And from that day, I believed I also needed a doctor. I've been engaging so many people. Even my friend here, Daktari, a mental health coach. I've been talking to her. Sometimes we can talk for 2 hours non-stop, just talking about myself. Can you be that safe place? Someone believes in you. I've talked to Omolo. I've shared my personal stories. Can you become a safe place for someone where you can listen? I've talked to my elder Serem. He always keeps quiet and listen to me. I open myself. I empty everything. And this makes me feel okay. Can you be a safe place for someone? Can you have someone whom you can trust? This is a chapter I've written when fire spoke. I hope you can open there. It is in part 1. We were going through a lot, and my sister called me and told me, I'm going through a lot, I need some help. I sent the number of Dr. And maybe you don't know this. You talk to who? She's here. Because I knew you could be a solution. And when after that call, she called me and told me, bro, I'm so okay now. How about if I tell you maybe today you just need a safe place, someone to talk to and get that healing. Don't die inside. Open up. I decided to write because also writing is healing. I encourage you to write. And I'll support you. I have a company called Free Heart. I'll help you in publishing and I'll support you if you write the book in this line. I promise to give you my support. Don't die inside. Open up that story. You don't know how much it can heal people. Since I started talking about this launch, I have received so many texts from some of you, some new people. I've talked with people even when I'm in Matatu and tell them about my book. Or they just tell me I need a copy. Some even pay instant. I have copies I'm going to deliver today. I don't know how much it touched them. If I start reading text messages that I receive from people, that's when I had to know that people are so matured. And even a parent became so open to me and they told me, I think I need to ask apology from my son. Do you want an apology? Kevin, do you your son apology for not being that kind of father? For not being present to your child? For always being so tough? Even when they just break a mere glass, you beat them like you want to kill them. Maybe if I say I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to heal. I'm in this journey. And what I ask you, we can still walk this journey together. Let's start it. Sometimes you will be so mad. Sometimes you will walk up to step 10 and go back to step 1. You meet with someone, just steps on you, and you become, you forget that you were in a journey of healing and become so violent and even start insulting them. Don't worry, it is a journey and you can walk it. As Dr. said, you can walk it for 10 years. Someone can walk it for an half a year. So just promise yourself to start a journey of healing, to be the safe place to people around you, to people, your colleagues, to people you fellowship with them together. Be that safe place. And that is only what I'll preach to you. And even when I came to ask for this venue, I talked to Madam Caro and she told you that we have planned a lot to reach out to the community. If you have some people, a group of people you think we can talk to them and help them in one way or the other, we are just phone call away. Thanks so much. I welcome the MC to proceed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Tedic. That was very courageous of you. It's your first book, and thus it shows us how your journey has started. Now, I'll not continue if you don't appreciate the speakers who have spoken before. Dr. Roslyn Odhiambo and Tedic Muridhi. We can put our hands together and appreciate them. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. Thank you. So next on, we're going to invite some guests who are with us today. We have Nice Gitau, who's the mental health coach. Then we'll have Omolo Douglas, nurse advocate. Can we have Nice Gitau? Our hands together for Nice Gitau. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad that Teddy wrote this book, and as he was crying here, I would say he was trying to regulate his nervous system on the mental aspects. My name is Nice Gitau, and I'm a mental health coach. And as Teddy was crying here, he was releasing some dendrites, and it's very good for his body because he was trying to regulate his nervous system, whereby he's producing oxytocin. And in his journey, as he was growing up, he was feeling so much pain, so much anger, and so much rejection. What was happening in his body? His body was in a sympathetic mode, whereby he wasn't regulated. And that is where he didn't have any connection between him and his father, him and his mom. And as we relate to it in this modern society, there's no connection between the parents and the children. Why? Because of the social media, and the parents are very busy at work or businesses. They come back in the evening and they don't know. They don't have that special time to connect with their children. They'll buy them gifts, they'll buy them toys, and they'll take them out. But what does this do? It disconnects them with their children. So that child, just like Dr. Rose said, they're seeking attention, right? Yes, they are. They'll go out there and find their attention. They'll find their attention from a stranger or someone they feel close to, or maybe a relative, a distant relative. So I'll try to tell the current parents that we should try and spend just a little time. I call it special time. I got it from one of the doctors. Special time is just spending 20 minutes, because this journey of healing, it's not easy. It's a step by step, and we'll do it each and every day. If you just spend 20 minutes special time with your child, let them tell you how their day was. Even if they did something bad, if they didn't perform well at school, what do? Let them speak first. Give them that attention. Give them that time to speak, so that they feel that there is that bond, that love, that care, because that will help their brain develop well, and it will help bring back that connection. And I would advocate for parents as well to be hugging their children, just like Dr. Rose said. Teddy never got that hug from his parents. and that love. He was never asked, how was your day? And there's a neuroeconomist, Dr. Zak, who did a study showcasing that when you hug someone or a spouse, a child parent, your body produces oxytocin, which downregulates your nervous system. And in this modern society, there's so much stress. You want to achieve this, everything is going wrong. Some stuff you want to achieve, they're not going right. And your body is in that stressful mode. It's called sympathetic mode, whereby you're producing so much cortisol. And then when you come back at home, there's no peace. You still produce so much cortisol. And that hug, if Teddy was only hugged when he was small, he was growing up, his body would be producing oxytocin, and he would have regulated his nervous system. And there is a study that was done back in 2022 to 2023, which at CDC, which showcases that anxiety has risen to 1 billion. And this is where at the ages of 3 to 7, they have so much anxiety, whereby 9% were male and 12% were female. And ways of reducing anxiety is spending more time with your child, parent, or the spouse. And other ways is doing some exercise. And another way is journaling. How do you journal? You write your thoughts, your good thoughts, and you write what you're grateful for. It's going to help you in the healing journey. And the trauma is going to reduce as you seek more professional help. Those are the steps. Thank you.
Our hands together for that beautiful presentation. So next on, we're going to have the Mr. Omolo Douglas. You'll introduce yourself. Welcome.
Habari zenu? Mko sawa? Mnakaa vizuri sana aki. Wengine nakutana nao nashangaa, who are these people? So you look very good. And I hope ingekuwa vizuri if that reflection of outside is a reflection of inside. And that is why we are here, to learn more about this. When I saw my brother Teddy crying, the very first time that I cried, I think nilikuwa wapi? Nilikuwa nishamaliza high school. The first time I cried as an emotion of maybe happiness. So wengine hapa unaweza ona kwani huyu ali, it is not that way. Maybe sisi tumekuwa sasa strong, ikakuwa sasa kuna vitu ngumu zile, yani lazima vitu zikuwe ngumu zitu hit maybe ili to cry. But it is a journey that has started. Maybe we can learn from that. My name is Douglas. I think ni podcast, so ni kama tunajiintroduce, but we'll speak more. I think the panelists will speak more. Utauliza maswali. Maybe there is something you have in your mind that you want clarification of. Maybe we can clarify and you can learn something from it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas. I've been told because of time, tomorrow there's a big event. You all know. We don't have time. Tomorrow there's a big event. Next we're going to have open reflections and testimonies, whereby I'll invite one or two of you to give us their personal testimonies. Oh, sorry, I skipped something. We are going to invite questions from you. We have a doctor, mental health coach, a nurse advocate, and the author himself. So in short, if you've not healed after today, we'll need a follow-up session. Questions, please.
Habari ya jioni. And so my question is, because Teddy helped me realize also I'm hooded. And I thank God I don't have a child now. Because okay. So Ted helped me realize I'm hooded. And he made me know that I can go for sessions because I think chenye alipitia tu, they are the same things that I went through them, and I seriously hated my family. And I can say that it's 3 years now. Sijaenda home. Not that I hate them. Okay. Hakuna mwenye anachukia kwenye ametoka. And I need to know and understand wenye as in mtu anaweza anzia those sessions aje, and I need
Okay, any other question? Because of the time, I'm going to read the questions there and we will answer them together. Question 1. Question 2. Adding to that one. What do I need to know as a parent to be or as a parent about relating with my child? That question. Why do I still feel insecure in danger? Can I really overcome this? Can I heal? Fourth question. How can I tell that the child is traumatized?
Thank you very much. Let's try to see what we can tackle. I'll start by saying something. Is it a story or an experience, whatever it is? There's a time my son was admitted in hospital for an apparent pain that we could not understand. But for some time, they stayed in hospital for almost a week and a half. Crying. Naumwa tu. Rolling on the floor. Naumwa. Then we said, all the tests were negative. All of them. He was put on the highest dose, the strength of medication, the highest painkiller in fentanyl. But it was still in pain. That's when we realized, this is not a physical pain. This is not a physical disease. So I quickly just added 1 + 1 in my head. I talked to a psychologist, and then number 2, I say I am going to the school. I'm going to the school to ask, how is my son in school? And that was my answer. That's why I got my answer in school. So apparently there is this young boy who was bullying us. You people are trying to imagine a young boy bullying other young boys. Even that abuse can occur among peers. So I told the teacher, can I see this boy who is bullying other boys? And then my son is among them. The boy was called. Hey, I'll never see what I saw that day. The boy came. The boy came. and he looked straight into my eyes. That boy looked straight into my eye. I asked him, "How are you? What's your name?" "I'm fine." You as in a boy grade 2. "I'm fine." Ananiangalia kwa macho. Eti, "How is class? How are you doing your schoolwork? Everything, kila kitu sawa." Na that time is using. Then nikamuuliza, "Nyumbani kwa aje? How do you know that? Who do you need? You know, not trying to figure out after thinking about where this coming from." Then he says, mimi mama simuona, I don't my dad, I live in a house girl. So house girl, how's the relationship? What I heard. that was it. This boy was so living in a life where he never saw the parents, he never knew what was right and wrong. So everything he was taught by this house, whatever, was what was. This things and then you broke down. Now, to the question. Now, I want to bring you somewhere to show you that sometimes stories come from somewhere that you may not understand. My son was being abused and I didn't know. You are undergoing trauma, but you didn't know it is trauma. You're wondering, what is anybody for years? There's a problem. You can get help, my dear. We have networks. We can connect you to someone who can walk you through the journey. They are there. We have counselors at beck and call. We just give them your contacts and you'll be able to contact them and you'll be able to run through. I'm also a doctor. If you feel my services will render you good, she's also a mental health specialist. We can start from somewhere. But we have networks. We can connect you to somebody. Don't shy away. Secondly, the question that you read, let me just say something about it. What is that relationship that we expect? What do parents need to know? And I will take you to the page. Just go to page 98 kwenda mpaka 112 in the book. 98 up to somewhere 112. And just look at what has been described there. All you need to understand first, before you can get, and I'm even now talking about those who are unmarried, please don't get into a relationship, a serious relationship, if you still are wounded. Because the danger is you will transfer the wounds to the next person who is likely to be your child. So you need to understand it's only when you yourself you're healed, if only you yourself you understand what you're living for and what you stand for in this life, that is when you can. I like how Ted has put it, and it is like that. Anasema, you cannot offer what you don't have. How can I advise you as my son? Now you see you need to be strong and assertive. Let no one play with your head. Let no one abuse you. And me myself have been abused all my life. You cannot pour up from an empty cup. So you need to know a child is a solemn responsibility. When you read the book of Mark 9:27, it says, if any of you will be the cause of one of these my little ones falling apart and away, afadhali we put a big stone on your neck and we throw you into the sea. You can contribute a lot to how a child turns. And you know what? It will be a pattern. Generations to come, it will be the same. Abuse, 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 abuse. So as a parent to be, and as a parent who is there already, if you realize you are the one who is perpetrating, imagine you're talking to your parent and the first thing you hear is shouting. A simple thing, the parent is shouting. You are shouting. Why are you shouting? There is a problem. If you're that kind of a parent, can you search yourself, find yourself, then understand the child does not have any fault. And therefore, we can call ourselves together. I will leave our fellow specialists to talk about now the other part where we are saying, how do you know a child is traumatized? Because there are signs. And any other comment?
Just a minute each.
Thank you. The way that you're going to know that your child is traumatized if they are disconnected with you. Let's say, for instance, You come home, they don't want to talk to you. And even in school, the way they are behaving, you should do a follow-up. When they're having that disconnection, that's where it starts first. And then when the parents, like she said, that trauma is in the parents, so it's transferring to the child. So how you're going to know is speak to that child by how they're behaving. They're going to respond badly, negatively, or they're going to do something that's against what you like. Let's say, for instance, you've told them to play at a certain time and to watch art.
Yeah, I think because of time we had, Atukwana enough time to speak about this, but I had read about something from year 0 to 2 years. Hapo ndio most of the things happen. Hapo ndio mambo inafanyika, inaharibika kabisa. Because at 0 to 2 years, a child is not able to speak his or her mind.
We have just been reminded that we are how many years in marriage? Yeah, 11 years in marriage. Yeah, so this on this launch we have been reminded to do some cake cutting, and we want to acknowledge special people. You said your sister or your siblings are here. We want to give them a honor to be with us up here to come and cut this cake. This cake, I think I can give it an AKA. This is a cake that shows healing. Sindio? Yes. So this is part of healing, and we want to appreciate the sibling who is with us here. This speaks to our family. This is so special. It speaks to our family and it speaks to us. So we want to recognize you in a very special way. Mtakuja karibu hapa. I'm speaking too much as I wait for some knife, and we have serviettes. All of us will receive. Karibu sana. You'll come closer here, Teddy.
for our photo session. Time is not on our side. We have 5 minutes. Photo session. With our books.
Ninalojua nilikuwa kiwete, ninatembea sasa, naona ninatembea. Yesu ametenda, amenitendea. Sasa ninaona ninatembea. Ametenda kwangu, atakutendea. Sasa ninaona ninatembea. Ametenda kwangu, atakutendea. Amefanyaje?
Very beautiful, my people.
Ninalojua nilikuwa kipofu,
This is very beautiful.
sasa ninaona tena natembea. Yesu ametenda, ilikuwa vipi siwezi eleza. Amefanyaje? Sijui, ilikuwaje? Sijui, ninalojua nilikuwa kipofu, sasa ninaona. Sasa ninaona tena natembea. Yesu ametenda, ilikuwa vipi siwezi eleza.
I was a master ceremony and then we loved it.
Thanks so much. I want to appreciate you in a special way for making the launch. I can't express the love. I cannot explain how I feel seeing you. If you maybe try to understand it deeper, just imagine of a day you plan a ceremony, then ufanye all this work, then you start to take care. So I really value your time. I appreciate for your taking time. I've received apologies from different people and also appreciate for their response. And let me appreciate my guest panelists, Dr. Roslyn. Thank you so much for the share and also for managing also to attend today. And also my MC, thank you so much for your dedication and also learning the ceremony so well. May God bless you each and every day and bless you more and more. I know that there are some people who even try, if it is healing, may the Lord give you that healing. If you are yearning to see a generation which is normal and healthy, may the Lord give you that. Special thanks to my elder and Mrs. Elder, my leader, action leader at SNL Church. I really appreciate for coming. The other one I represent Mulingana from Kasajo and Mkakuja from every time. God bless you so much also for responding for his word. And we are together, each and every person who is here. I am dead, you dead, and I owe you big times. Any day you want me, just give me a call and I shall respond to your call. May the Lord bless you and give you a faithful word. Thank you.